Welcome back to my channel. Earlier today I decided to take some questions off my Facebook page and tackle them doing a little small talk video session on my 10-hour drive home back to Atlanta. So I got this question from Jerry Dwayne. I can't pronounce the last name. I'm not sure I wrote it right. But anyway, he have a 2003 GT, PT Cruiser GT. And he says AC and op worked a week, then it cut out again. The dealership telling him he need this, that, and the other. Also, RPM dash light out, odometer light only comes on. Okay, let's talk about this AC question or this AC situation. Now, depending on what do you mean by AC and op, I can only assume you mean simple. AC don't work. You can't get no simpler than that. But what I need to know is it not working because you said it went out in a week. Now, a lot of things can happen in a week. You can lose all your Freon in a week, or you can lose your electrical circuit can become open. The latter part is a slim chance. Now, the earlier part, the first part I said about losing Freon, that's very, very much could be your problem. So, I'm gonna assume you out of Freon. I'm gonna assume you took your car to the dealership, they repaired, did whatever they said they're gonna do, they gave it back to you, and now you're stating that a week later your AC out again. Let's tackle it that way. If your AC out again because you out of Freon, it's simple. You have a leak. You have a leak somewhere. Now, this is a GT, man, you didn't write down if it has turbo or not. The turbo PT Cruiser, it's the AC line does some funky things. It attaches to the thermostat housing and go back down to the bottom to the compressor and the condenser. Now, that line that's attached to the thermostat that goes down to your compressor or your condenser, that line always get kinked. Well, what you need to do, buddy, is the shop nowadays, Freon come with a dye built into it, ultraviolet dye, where you can pinpoint through with a light, black light. So what somebody needs to do is grab a black light. You put your glasses on, grab your black light, and focus in the area down in there where the condenser and the compressor is. If you see any ultraviolet yellow lighting, that's where your leak source is at. That's where you need to, concentrate on the leak getting fixed. Now, we've also had problems with our condenser. I don't know, you say you had 119,000 miles. Well, you didn't say how much miles. But anyway, rocks or something can hit the condenser. Now, if you're going to tackle this as a do-it-yourself, but man, if you have paid the dealership to check your car out, you're really obligated to get it rechecked out. They're obligated to recheck it. I hate when people let the dealer or let shops off the hook after they just made a repair, and now you got another problem or you got the same problem, and people just let them off the hook. No, they're obligated to recheck your car out. Now, what you can do is find out if they put dye in it, because if they did, your leak should be easy to find. Like I say, using an ultraviolet black light. That way, you put these yellow glasses on, shine the light up there, any kind of ultraviolet light and show up, that's where your leak at. That's where you need to focus on. 9 times out of 10, it probably is going to be that line that's attached to the thermostat that goes down to your compressor and goes to your condenser. Or it's going to be your condenser. Now, I'm going to say this. If you're doing your ultraviolet light testing, and you see absolutely no leaks or no ultraviolet lighting, the only place you're not able to check outside of the car is inside the car. There's AC plumbing going on inside your car, inside your dash, in the form of a evaporator. So what you can do there is take the same ultraviolet light that you're using, open your glove box. You will see a small view of your evaporator, the fins. Now, shine a light in there and see if you see any yellow ultraviolet, lighting all over the condenser. If so, your leak is simply at the evaporator. That's a harder job because your dashboard got to come out and the AC housing got to come out. That's the only way you can replace the AC evaporator. But we don't want to think that far ahead. We want to assume your leak is either at the condenser or the AC line that's attached to the thermostat, because there's a lot of vibration going on up there at that thermostat. I'm not sure why they attached that line to that thermostat back down to the compressor. But that's my advice, man. Like I say, and if they didn't put no dye in it, simply fill your system back up with some dye in it. That way, if it leaks out within a week, like you say, a week is no time at all, man. If your Freon is leaking out in a week, you got a huge leak, because you know a tiny leak is not going to cause you to lose all your Freon in a week. So it should be easy to find. I mean, you may waste some Freon trying to find your leak, but Freon is not that expensive, and it's something you need to get done. So if they didn't put dye in it, you find a way to get some dye put in your AC system. That way you can visually see. The days of the leak detector, them things don't work that well anymore. I'm not sure why I wind up trashing mine, because it was giving me false signal. But we go by eyesight. The best diagnostic tool attached to your body is your eyesight. Use it to your advantage. If you can view a leak, you can repair the leak. Again, to wrap this up, if your Freon went out in a week, you have a leak, a large leak. If your AC stopped working after a week because of some circuitry open, now I'm gonna use another video to tackle the circuitry of the AC system, because that'll take me another 15 to 20 minutes to discuss that. But right now I'm discussing the plumbing side of your AC system. If your AC go out in a week, chances are you got a leak. And you need to track down, the best way to track down a leak is using ultraviolet leak dye detector test. That way you can find a leak and get it repaired. All right, Jerry, Dwayne, thanks for the question, man. And, that 03 GT, man, those some nice cars, man. Those some nice cars. Like I said, if you have an electrical problem while your AC went out in a week, I'm gonna tackle that on another video. If so, just leave a comment below, man.